Welcome, Aries. I am Art Kozak, and this is Art Kozak Tarot, and this is your weekly forecast for March 2nd through the 8th, 2020. I am seeing for you, Aries, this week that you have been in a state of rest. And I like to say, since I've just done a few of these videos so far, that the way that I read the tarot does not necessarily speak to the same storyline in your life every week. There are any number of narratives that we are living through at any given point. And so this may be a continuation of what was on your mind last week. This may be something that you are now paying more attention to. But each and every reading is intended to be as relevant as possible to you in the moment and speak to what is most important for you in your life and what is most on your mind. So that being said, you've been in a state of rest. There was something that you were very, very passionate about and you got very excited about, and very quickly that turned into boredom. I don't know, and for some of you this may be a romantic situation, somebody that you were very attracted to and excited about, and then after the first date or two or three, they just began to bore the heck out of you. This may be something that you've been putting your energy into, though, something along the lines of a hobby or a home-based business, something that you're doing on your own for a lot of you as well. But you are very, very excited. You have all the enthusiasm in the world, and then for whatever reason, that all just kind of went out the window. It turned into something really, again, really boring for you. And I can see that what you're doing, or what you've been doing, is trying to improve your situation in the world. You've been studying up. You've been studying as much as you possibly can, getting all the information that you can, applying yourself. You want to gain a kind of competence that you don't feel that you have had. Okay, you want to become the most competent kind of person that you possibly can. To have all the resources available to you and all of the ability to use them. And that's what you are aiming at. That's what this whole cycle is about, is you being able to do this. But you just have this kind of boredom cycle that you've had to go through. Now, what's going to start happening is that kind of state of rest, and I say a state of rest because I don't think that this activity is something that has been, it's not something that has been horribly trying for you, whether, again, it's a relationship or it's something that you're doing with your time, on your own time. It's probably something that's intended to increase your comfort in the world, your comfort with yourself, your ability to repose and to heal, whatever it is. A lot of us, when we invest in a hobby, we may spend a lot of energy and activity on it, but really that's a form of rest as well. When we form a new relationship, it's part of that has to do with gaining a restful space in the world, a new comforting place in the world, to gain some comfort from the world that we live in. What's going to happen pretty soon for you, though, is that you're going to have a wish granted. Whatever it is you've been wishing for, and is going to come to you. And you are going to be independently happy yet again. And this is not the same kind of enthusiasm that you had. This is more of this is a more gentle yet pervasive kind of happiness. Okay, this isn't the kind of burning happiness that comes from the bottom of the soul and gets you enthusiastic, but the kind that kind of settles over you and just makes you genuinely happy. And I say that you're going to have a wish granted. It's represented by the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is often interpreted as the wish card. So if there's something that during this time of boredom you've been wishing for, very likely you're going to find that, and with that you are going to build a new foundation. This is going to be something that's going to be very fundamental to you going forward. You're going to build a new foundation with this. Whatever this past activity was, I can't tell you if this is a continuation of it, or this past relationship, if this is a continuation of it, or like a rejuvenation of that, or if it's moving on from something else. Those cards aren't there. It may be different that it may be one or the other for different people out there. But what I am showing is that you're gonna be very happy. This granting of a wish is going to build a new foundation for you, provide a new foundation from which to move and to grow and to keep going forward. And now you're in the strategizing phase. Okay, you've rested up, however it was you were doing that, you've healed, and now you are in the mindset of giving it some real thought and giving it some very directed planning on how you're going to move forward. Again, if it's with this past thing or with something new. You are going to come to, later on in the week, most likely, you are going to be in a situation in which you come to terms with someone. And by this I mean that you may have someone in your life or find someone in your life with whom there has been conflict or with there can potentially be conflict, but you're going to come to terms with them in the sense that they're not going to give you what you want. They're not going to budge. You're not going to give them what they want. You're not going to budge on it, whatever it is. You're not going to change your behavior for them. They're not going to change for you, but that's going to be okay. You're going to come to a point of truce with that. Live and let live, as it were. And this is specifically, I'm saying this is with someone because the cards are telling me this is specifically with a person, most likely a male figure in your life or a masculine figure. But it's somebody with a good heart. And I think that once you get to this place of truce with this person, once you get to a place of understanding, then immediately you're going to start seeing that this is a much better person than you thought they were. You know, you may have, in fact, even have some regret for the past or for your past attitudes. So look for that coming up, most likely in the latter part of the week. There is a sense of completion to your social life in the social realm for you in this week, but this is a good completion. Okay, this is not necessarily a breakup with anyone or an ending of a relationship, but this is moving to the next stage. So whatever stage you've been in, and I do see this as more. This is in your social life with other people, but it's very likely to be something that has to do with your work life as well, with your professional life. So people in your professional life, you are coming to a new stage there, and it's a good one. You're leveling up, and as I say, I think it has more to do with your professional or material life. But you're going from wherever it was you were, maybe a kind of a more of a shaky place. I can kind of see this as being, to give an example, someone who has moved into a new job, and after being there for a while, you move from the stage in which your relationships with your coworkers are kind of shaky and iffy, and now you're moving to the stage where now you're comfortable. Okay, well, it might have to do with your actual coworkers or not. Just the concept of professionality in the material realm is there as well. So again, you're moving to a new stage, and this is going to be a stage of reciprocation. You're going to be on the same page with other people. You're going to be in a space where when you do things well for them, they're going to do well. They're going to do well by you. The people that you're nice to are going to be nice back to you. This also carries the caveat that people that you are rude to or people that you don't treat well, they may reciprocate that back to you as well. So watch out for that. But also, I see this being whatever this shift is in your social realm, the people around you. I do see this as being productive for your material well-being. Ultimately, the conclusion, I think that by the end of this week, there's a kind of a dichotomy that you're going to be facing, and you're going to be feeling your freedom. You're going to be stepping out into new ground, or at least feeling like you're really enjoying stepping out into new ground, and you don't feel any kind of sense of restraint on you. It may be that by the end of the week you are feeling some material security, so you feel like you have the money to do what you want to do, and and that's fantastic. But also, you're going to run into reality. Not necessarily harsh reality, but just look for a situation, again, ultimately by the end of the week, where you are kind of stepping out without restraint. You're not thinking necessarily about the realities around you, and reality then comes knocking on your door and says, "Hey, if you want to be the dreamer, then you have to pay your dues. You have to pay attention to what's really going on. You have to pay attention to this material reality we're living in." So I hope something I've had to say here can be helpful to you in the coming week. Please let me know. Thank you for your comments, for liking and subscribing. There's also a link to our Patreon page in the description box below for those of you who'd like to check that out. I am Art Kozak, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the future.